And we're live. Hello, everyone. This is Charming Man 93, fresh from Birmingham, now back in Manchester, after hanging out with some GGers and big names like Alan Bakari. He showed up, Teddy's Carrera, and Mark Kern came, and so did the Doc, also known as Doc. But this stream is not about that. This stream is all about the lovely pink-haired lady with me, Mae Dominguez. I'm pronouncing that correctly without the am I right?
Yes, Mae Dominguez.
But is your Z the th sound, like in proper Spanish, or is it just a Z?
Dominguez. Like it's like a it's only Spanish from Europe has a lisp. The South American Spanish doesn't have a lisp. It's really funny because when somebody from Spain always came to Chile, where I used to live, we will all make fun of their lisp. It was kind of sad.
Don't you take the mickey out of the Argentines for saying che all the time? They can't stop saying
that's Argentinian.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's Argentinian.
You take the piss out of them for doing that.
Yeah, I know. Argentinians are che, boludo, and they speak like with an Italian accent.
They're also Chile's bitch. In football.
Pretty much. No, Chileans take football very seriously.
I love Chile.
Very, very seriously.
You don't give a damn. You just go and play your attacking football and just put 3 men at the back, and they're all midgets. Well, mostly. Like
Chileans are known to be short.
The pit bull, Medell, as a centre back. You're mad, but it works. And mind you, if I'm taller than him, and I've played centre back. Anyway, so how's your day been?
It's been good. We're recovering from the motion sickness the VR the VR PlayStation gave us. We played, for those who don't know, we played demos of the VR PlayStation and the Oculus.
Yeah.
I still think the VR PlayStation is better than the Oculus. It felt a little bit more real than
Sony are doing better than Oculus is Facebook, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Xbox.
Xbox.
Yeah, it's Microsoft.
They just can't keep it up with Sony, can they? And Sony's not actually doing that well either. They're all doing pretty poorly. If Razorfist is to be believed, he's a YouTuber. Anyway, would you like a link to the stream to shitpost? Would you like to do that? I'll send it to you.
All right.
I like to shitpost too, so hang on. It's a really weird and stupid thing. Okay, here we are. All right, sending it to you now, and then I'll just explain to the fans what we're going to do. Also, we need to share the thing and just make sure more people turn up. All right.
No problem. I'll share it.
Today it's not really. There's kind of a planned subject, but not necessarily planned. We're just going to make it up as we go along, all the different kind of events and subjects within that one big topic. And as many people will know, although I don't know if any of my fans are sub to you, though I assume there will be overlap. Mae is a former social justice warrior, former well, I won't say regressive. You were never really regressive, were you? But we're here to discuss that and also, chat about stuff like video games. So, first I want to know what brought you to the movement exactly. How did you discover it?
Well, I was a really insecure, really scared kind of person when I was introduced to the movement. And they kind of lure you in with, we're going to give you love and acceptance mainly because I was a woman, Like I had a lot of baggage and problems. I didn't get out of my house. I was like a hermit.
Oh, yeah.
My dad would actually call me grandma because I would stay in bed all day, like I was sick or something.
Although how old were you?
I was in my late teens, early 20s.
Oh, that's
there. I'm 25 now.
Oh, you're older than me. I look younger than me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I left.
Don't take it the wrong way or anything,
Oh, no worries. I left it a year ago, but basically I was introduced through it in Tumblr.
Yeah.
And
I had the opposite thing. I actually became more extroverted as I got older.
Yeah, no, I was just a very anxious person, like really, really needy for friends. And I met friends, well, quote unquote friends, through a DeviantArt group.
Yeah.
And from that group, it went to Tumblr, and that's where it all started, because the DeviantArt group was okay, but then when it moved to Tumblr, that's when the whole trigger warnings and all. The trigger warning thing was the first thing I learned about. Actually, it was very interesting. Yeah, because I triggered one of my SJW friends.
Tell me the story. How did you do it?
Oh my god, it was so dumb. Okay, so I was. This is gonna sound really, really stupid. So, I know how dumb it sounds, but bear with me. So we were in a Pokemon role-playing group on DeviantArt, right?
Oh yeah, go on.
And we did a scenario where a Magikarp was married to one of the ice cream Pokemon, and he pissed on him and made like a yellow snow cone. You know, like whatever. That's what I did. I thought it was funny. And then she just broke down, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "You triggered me." And I'm like, "Why? It's just Pokemon." And no, because it's domestic abuse, and that triggers me.
Wait, a fish peeing on a ice cream wow. I think this person doesn't know what domestic abuse is. Or if she does know, she's kind of being moronic and a bit of a liar. But I can never tell, because a lot of them are actually being dead serious about that, while others are, you know, playing games.
She sent me a message. Basically, like what we were doing like picture role playing or whatever. It was supposed to be like a really silly, stupid thing with our friends' characters.
No, it's LARPing.
No, that's live action role play. and then she sent me like a note saying, "Oh, you really hurt me yesterday because I'm triggered by domestic abuse." And she's like, "I know it's between a fish and a ice cream, but still it hurts."
Yeah.
And that was like the first introduction to me. Like I had no idea what triggers were, but I felt like shit. I was so needy, and I was so like, I was naive back then that I made her an apology drawing, and that's basically where they started the indoctrination.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, like, people have triggers, and if you trigger somebody, you have to feel like shit because it ruins their day, and it makes them unavailable the whole day. If you manage to trigger them, it doesn't matter if you have good intentions or not. So that's when I was like, oh shit, I have to like tiptoe over everything from now on. Tell me more, you know? So they started talking about freaking how to be politically correct.
Yeah.
You know, never say racial slurs, never say retarded, or any of those words.
Stupid?
Naughty words.
Or did they allow stupid back then? Because Steve Shives recently stopped using the word stupid, didn't he?
Yeah. And then after that was much after when they released that list of ableist words that you can't say. But before it was just retarded.
Yeah. So am I right in saying that in order to indoctrinate you, they told you what you did wrong? They kind of shamed you and taught you all these things like, this is what you're supposed to do. Don't do that. How dare you do that? Is it something like that?
Yeah. Well, one of my friends would call me out like directly. Like sometimes I would be live streaming, drawing or something, and I would say, this character got AIDS, and then she would tell me in front of everybody, like, AIDS jokes are not funny. Like really, like calling me out and just being rude. You know, at least tell me privately if you think so. I don't like. I personally don't care. I think everything can be funny.
So
now,
basically, they would publicly shame you.
Yeah.
Rather than, you know, take you to one side. It's part of the, almost like a hazing process, isn't it? Like,
yeah, you have to unlearn.
Unlike in, say, for example, in Metallica, I don't know if you listen to them or know their history, but when their second bassist died because he's not the original Cliff Burton. They brought in a new guy called Jason Newsted, and they hazed him when he first joined. Like they treated him like crap and didn't really.
Oh yeah, it's very medieval.
But for them, it's just they were grieving and they were lads, and that's what sometimes happens. You know, you become the butt of the jokes for a while as you bed in. But with you, it's more sinister than that. It's more about, okay, we've now got new blood. Let's break her down, and
basically that's what was hilarious about this particular friend though, is that she was into a lot of gory stuff. Like she would draw like really hardcore gore. However, one day when we were watching Mean Girls, she got triggered.
Is that the one with Lindsay Lohan?
Lindsay Lohan, yeah,
in
because
the
they used the word slut.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! So what kind of gore would she draw? Like zombies and stuff, or just?
Yeah, she would draw zombies, vampires, anything that involved gore or just ripping off the flesh and all that. Like she would get like really turned on by that.
Oh.
But then, yeah, she was into war, stuff like that. And then when we were watching Mean Girls, she got really upset because they were being catty and stuff like that. And she said, "Oh my God, why isn't this movie called Nice Girl? Why couldn't it be called Nice Girls? I just want to write an essay and give it to each one of these characters, telling them that they're wrong." So,
do you think she saw herself in them? Do you reckon she saw herself in them?
I don't know. It's weird. It's just she was just panicking because they were using the word slut. She hated the word slut. Like I found this out when I linked her to this typo thing. I don't know. It was just this bag of ramen that was called Ramen for Sluts, and I found it funny because it's a ramen for sluts. And I showed it to her, and she's like, "I don't find that word funny."
I guess I saw a T-shirt that I've about Game of Thrones, and it's called "Sorry Girls, I'm part of the Night's Watch" or something. And I think she'd be triggered by that, even though it's saying I don't want a relationship.
Yeah, I know. It's a harmless word in my opinion. You can call a guy a slut or a girl a slut.
Well, we say slut over here.
Yeah, slut. It's not like cunt, but I don't find the word cunt offensive either. But like I would understand it a little bit more than just being triggered by slut. So she pretty much couldn't watch the movie entirely because she was getting way too upset.
So
of the Lindsay Lohan movie.
When they hazed you and when they broke you down and really publicly humiliated you, was there a point when they stopped? Did you ever feel like shit for them doing that to you? Did you feel like, why are they doing this? I thought we were all friends, or did you take it as just coming into a new group and that's just what they did?
Got used to it, and I would like apologize, but in a quick ways, just so I can get through the live stream, because I had more things in my mind during that time. Even though I did have an SJW mentality, I was still like, I had to I had to finish the drawing. So I would just like quickly apologize and just change the topic. But she wasn't the worst one. There was one that was even worse, because I would say something problematic or whatever, and she would just not tell me. And then a week would pass, and then she would just send me an essay of how horrible I am because I said that thing.
Wow, was she like one of the main girls? Like the main were the lads there? Were there men as well, boys?
They were. Well, the main ones were dating each other.
I see. This is getting a bit off cliquey, a bit high school.
Yeah. It is very high school. And then there was ones that were friends, like part of the group. They were usually artists, people from college, people from the LGBT community, kind of. There was only a couple of men, very, very few.
Can you explain me something? Why did they put Q at the end? Why? Because queer, when you look at the dictionary definition, it just means gay. It's not different to gay or lesbian. It just means gay and lesbian, right?
Yeah, the word queer for SJW.
Oh, weird. It also means weird.
Yeah, it has changed because they consider it a slur, but they are using it how black people reclaim the N-word and rap songs and all of that.
Oh yeah,
they want to quote unquote reclaim it and say and use it as their kind of N-word. Like they want to call each other queer and be trendy like that. But basically, what it means, according to SJWs, and this is what one of my ex-friends told me, that it's like the whole spectrum. Like you don't know what you are, but you're not straight. Kind of. That's what it is.
Silly. It's a bit silly, that, isn't it? Like, how can you not know what you are unless you're a bit confused?
Because look, she was dating a woman.
Yeah.
So one of my friends who was not an SJW and who was like one of my best friends now, she called her a lesbian because she's with a woman, and she got really offended. I'm not lesbian. I'm a queer. And she's like, but that's the same thing. And the funny thing is that my friend is bisexual, so she's part of the LGBT community. And even she was like, what the fuck? You know? Like,
you know what's weird about... I've always seen bisexuals as a little bit kind of outside of it, even though they're supposed to be part of it. They always seem a little bit more isolated because they like both, or transgender as well. It depends on the person. They always seem a little bit different, Have you ever noticed that? Just out of interest.
Yeah, it is. I think it's because they are literally at both sides of the fence,
and
they can.
And if you think about it, in terms of the history, they kind of hide, better than the lesbians and the gays could, because they liked both, so they could, have a wife or a boyfriend on the side and vice versa, and nobody would ever know because they like both. They just look normal. I mean, it's just a weird, silly theory of mine, but they always seemed a little bit different,
Yeah, they always it's interesting because when I don't know, when Lady Gaga, for example, said that she was bisexual, the LGBT community, some of them were like rolling their eyes, saying, "Oh well, you were not born this way," or whatever you're talking about. You're not part of us. You don't have to go through what we go through, and it's like. They're still a part of you because they still are a part of the spectrum. It's just that they're different. Even pansexuals are more accepted than bisexuals, in my opinion. I encounter way more SJW pansexuals than
I once had a fling with a pansexual. I'm seeing delving more into the SJW thing, and I feel powerless because I want to debate her, but I know that she'd probably just end all communication because she's still like really nice and naive and all that, but she's just getting caught up in it. I knew I couldn't save her, so I tried.
Yeah, no, it's very.
Also, I like her. I think she's a lovely girl, but it's not much I can do. I can't really talk to my friends about it in general because a lot of them, they're kind of not, but they could be. Like they don't. They're more like. It's hard to explain my friendship circles. It's just they could. Some of them are SJWs, but some of them are not. They're all kind of in a weird kind of neutral zone. It's hard to explain. Or maybe I just don't know. There's a few people who aren't. Like, I know one person who isn't. That I know for sure.
Yeah, basically, SJW circles are very... It's strange because they give you a lot of shallow love and attention, but the moment you say something bad, they just turn on you like bloodthirsty wolves. It's a very... It made my anxiety almost unbearable to live with because it also, here's another story. They basically ruined one of my relationships.
Really?
Yeah. It was okay, so I was way back then, I was in a very short relationship with a guy, and the guy, we weren't meant for each other. He would ignore me for days, which was shitty.
Yeah.
But instead of me confronting him and say, "Hey, what the fuck?" You can't just ignore somebody like that and not say anything. One of my SJW friends heard me crying, and she went to him and she called him an asshole and just bullied the shit out of him.
Damn.
And then he went to me and he basically tuning out on that. But I don't blame him. I mean, she was one of my friends. Although he was kind of SJW too. Like he was in that.
Was he the same ethnicity as you or different? Was he white, black? You know.
He was white.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she actually went after him.
To be fair though, she had your back. I mean, that's not the worst thing I've seen them do. I mean, I probably would have done the same for a male mate or any mate, really. You know, yeah, like, hey, stop treating my friend like shit. You know. Yeah,
but she went all like
SJW
on him.
Bit too far. Yeah.
Yeah, like like because he was a straight male. Wait, he wasn't even straight, but whatever.
Was he
if
bi
you're white and male, yeah, he was bi. But if you're white and male, you are completely a target, no matter what.
So, what about you, if you don't mind me asking? You know.
Well, I'm a boring straight person.
Same.
Like it's just with the whole SJW thing, I kind of, it's weird because when they asked me that, I kind of revert for a bit. I'm like, what label do I have? Oh wait, I have no label. I'm just what I am, you know.
To be honest, you don't have to be boring. You can make it entertaining.
Yeah, it's just the way I was ever since. Like I would actually feel uncool not being part of the trendy labels because, like I mentioned in my videos, they have like rankings, and if you're not part of the LGBT community, you're automatically kind of uncool. So for a while, I identified as asexual.
So because
yeah, like my boyfriend just looked at me like with a really weird look, and you know, he's getting him. He's like, yeah, for a while I identified as asexual,
I can
just
imagine
so I could fit in with them.
You really? I know you.
Yeah, no. Yeah, just so I could fit in with them, I put the label asexual, and it was so stupid. Like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that. But yeah, it's if you are a straight person in the SJW circle, you were automatically in the position of ally.
So the progressive stack, which is what it's called, the academic term, is basically a high school hierarchy, at least with your friends.
Yeah, it is.
Would you say it's the same, like in all different communities in the SJW world? Would you say it is like that?
The thing is, I feel like the SJW clique or whatever is way more dangerous because it's centered on censorship. And when you're with your friends, you're supposed to be in a relaxed environment. You're not supposed to chew each other out for saying something that you don't agree on. You're supposed to have a calm discussion. And with SJWs, you have to, first of all, when you're gonna watch something with them, like a movie, things that friends do, it has to be something completely politically correct. So I wanted, first of all, back then, I had the same movie taste as I have now because my dad studied film, and he just basically indoctrinated me to love film. But I wanted to watch Clockwork Orange with them.
Oh God, no! But that triggered people even back then.
Yeah, I wanted to watch Clockwork Orange with them, and I would say, "Look, I think this movie's really good, but there's a rape scene in it," and they're like, "Nope."
There's a few, technically, I think.
Well,
there's two. There's one when they fight. There's one just before they fight the other gang member. The other gang had this girl, but she escaped because they were fighting.
They were about to rape her, but
I thought they were in the midst of it. Okay.
Yeah, they were like taking off her clothes and stuff, and then they interrupted.
And then there's the singing in the rain.
Singing in the rain, yeah.
That's not in the book, you know.
Yeah, it's that scene again. He undresses her, but you don't see the rape. It's just insinuated. So like, it's not like a movie. It's not a tacky movie where they just show torture, and it's actually a movie with a message and with very visual, with a visual merit. But no, they wanted to watch Bridge to Terabithia, which which is a cringe movie. It's so funny how a child dying is nothing compared to insinuated rape. Like that,
I know.
we can watch a child dying, people going through a grieving process. That's fine. It's just insinuated rape. That's not fine.
Also, a little bit of trivia for you: that the author of the book came from my city.
Oh, I had no idea.
Oh yeah, Manchester. Yeah, he came from like a really obscure area though.
Oh, I see. No, I've heard it's a really good book, but I thought the Disney movie was just terrible. Like I couldn't like that movie. It had like the little girl was like an ultimate Mary Sue, and she was just like the perfect child, and of course she's gonna die.
Was that thingy? Was the girl from New Girl? Oh, can I forget her name? She's one of my babes. You know, Zoe Deschanel.
So yeah, she was the teacher.
Oh, she's not the girl who dies.
No. The girl who dies, she looks like a Dakota Fanning, but looks more Disney princess-ish.
Oh, like the one. Is she the one from that one with The Rock, which is in a lot of memes? Like when he turns around, like what in the car, you know? That the one where they had to go up the mountain.
I'm not sure because she looks a lot like
a poor woman's Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, she's a poor woman's Dakota Fanning.
Anyway, to get it back on track, because I have to be a good interviewer.
Okay.
So you joined them through insecurity, and it started to make you feel worse. After the point when you were firmly established in the group, did you guys like do anything? Did you ever do any slacktivism or activism? Did you go to other like places to? Sorry, something just rocked and scared me then.
You're implying that social justice warriors are active and
that's why I said slacktivists.
Radical. Yeah.
Like
no, we were in the comfort of our computers, mister. Like that's what we did. Like we didn't go anywhere. It was just Tumblr. We would just get our feminist analysis goggles on. I would watch Feminist Frequency. I regret that to this day. Like I hate that show now. Like it's funny because while I was watching it and quote unquote enjoying it, believe it or not, in the back of my mind something was saying there's something not right here. It was weird.
Yeah.
But
did you notice like there was no evidence actually given? Despite giving examples, she can't actually prove with the examples her hypothesis.
Exactly. Yeah, and also because I was a gamer and I've never felt oppressed ever while playing a game, or I never faced any oppression from men in a gaming community. So in a way I was thinking maybe she's reaching and like exaggerating. And also I was thinking while she was talking about Grand Theft Auto and how you can beat up women, I remembered that I played Grand Theft Auto, and whenever I did that stuff, the game would punish me for that. So I was thinking, there's something not right here. She's reaching. But yeah, no feminist frequency liking was very brief. I also used to watch Lacey Green. Lacey Green was the favorite YouTuber of one of my SJW friends, and she actually made me even more confused about sex. And
really?
She actually she made me even more wary and more nervous about it than actually like treating it like a normal everyday thing.
It's because she doesn't know what she's talking about, which is weird. She should know. I think she's just there for personality. The MTV thought, okay, rising YouTube star who actually got beaten in the live debate by a creationist, by the way, about creationism and all that. Do you remember someone called Venom Fangax who were on YouTube at the time?
Yeah, no, it was
That's what happened to Lacey Green. That set her on the path to where she is now. She got went into a debate with this guy called Venom Fangax, who was the biggest creationist YouTuber at the time, and she got beat by him. The only person he ever beat was her.
Oh, God.
And then, yes, I've never seen it. I want to see it just to see what happened. And then she fell out with the Amazing Atheist over him calling this homophobic Christian girl a stick with tits. Just an insult because she was stupid. He was basically saying she was stupid, which is true. She was homophobic. Yeah, Lacey defended her and attacked you, causing drama.
Oh my god!
His response to her is on YouTube. I've not seen her full video.
Yeah, no, it's Lacey Green. I think Lacey Green's problem is that she's trying to seem intelligent, but she's biting way too much that she can chew.
Yeah.
So, like, she can look at a camera, look photogenic, I guess, and talk about the issue.
As much as she can nowadays.
Yeah, but she can't. Her content is very flimsy, especially with just a Google search. And I think one of her worst videos. I think two of her worst videos, in my opinion, is the consent one, and the one where she says everything is problematic.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Is the consent one? Oh, she's done several stuff on that. Is that the one where she talks about the rape kits in like Idaho or Iowa?
No, that's the one where she says that if somebody hollers rape, then you have to believe them.
Oh yeah, she says that in that other one, but I caught her lying because basically what happened was there was this story about the police it was either Idaho or Iowa. They're states, right? I know Iowa's a state because it's Slipknot. Idaho's a state, right?
Yes, Idaho.
Yes, right. It's either one of those two, and it was in like an obscure county. And basically, the police were fighting a battle to keep, the authority and the responsibility to them, while the county or the state wanted it to go to the doctors. And he was talking about, cases and how some of it's real, some of it's not real. And she quote-mined him into saying that, oh, it's not real, or something like that. And I caught her out. I think I was the first one to respond to that. I was like, hang on, something's fishy about this.
Yeah, she only snipped the end of the conversation, making it seem like he was saying that most people who holler rape are consensual sex. But she failed to give the rest of the video before he said that. And also, she's basing her statistics on internet surveys from like 2010 or something like that.
And then there's this, and she sends us all the statistics in the description about how about these number of false rape cases, which is actually a debunked number. I don't actually know what the actual number is, but it largely depends on what study you go. It goes as low as the 2% figure, which she quoted, or was it 10? It was something like that. To like literally, I think I saw about 80%. I mean, I didn't trust that one, but I just showed her a list of studies. Look at all these people have come up with different studies to you. You're not right, and because I knew she wasn't right.
She was just trying to.
It's probably 50-50. There was one that was 50-50.
It is 50-50. You're either right or wrong, which is a 50-50 chance.
And we also don't know how many crimes are being committed, because either they're not being reported or it's just impossible to convict. We just don't know. But they always claim that we know and that they know. But I always say that I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very delicate issue, because if you falsely accuse somebody, their lives are complicated and sometimes even ruined forever.
My favorite part is that they actually have a statistic for the amount that aren't reported, but they're not reported. How do you know?
How do you know exactly? Like Lauren Summer. What's her name?
Southern.
Lauren Summer. Yeah, Southern. She's the one who pointed that out, and it's just logic. Just use logic. It doesn't make sense. I just am disgusted how they try to push into this idea of a rape culture when we're not living in a rape culture at all.
Yeah, I know.
Like at all. I mean, rape is something that is really frowned upon in this society, and if you even imply that somebody might have raped you, then people are very motivated to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah,
and
also,
help you.
I was wondering, have you ever noticed their capacity to infiltrate like subcultures and just completely mess them up and try to, because in a way it's trying, in a way to control them and to use them as a springboard for the politics. Like Atheism Plus. Do you remember that? Have you heard of that?
No.
Basically, what happened was there was the atheist community on YouTube. in the very early days. So, I think it started around about 2006, but it might have been 2005. So it started off, and they, debated the creationists who were mostly Christian. They occasionally would debate Islamists and Muslims as well, but that's more of a trend now than it was back then, although they did try it. And basically, it came to a point around the early 2010s, so about 2010, 2011, this new lot came around who were claiming to be, the new atheists. So, you had the original Four Horsemen, and these guys were like atheism plus, and this is what atheism is now. It's atheism plus feminism and all this stuff, all their social justice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they organised a forum plus kind of blog called Free Thought Blogs.
Oh.
Right. And and all the people who you might have heard of, like Rebecca Watson, P.Z. Myers, Richard Carrier, all these big names became famous through that. And Thunderthought was originally a part of Free Thought Blogs. He thought, this would be fun to like blog and write and have intellectual discourse. But of course, no. In a week, they got rid of him because he said something wrong. And then they started causing issues in the skeptic conferences and all that. They would just accuse people of harassment and all sorts of stuff. And
that sounds terrifying.
The boiling point reached when Rebecca Watson was in Ireland, and I've met someone who was there, but he didn't actually see the event that took place. It could never have happened. She's a known liar. And basically, she was in a lift or an elevator, and this guy walked in and he was like, "Oh yeah, I really find you interesting. Would you like to go to my room for coffee?" And she said no, and he said okay, and he went to his room and she went to her room. I think the next day or a week after, whenever she got back to the States, she made a video about that, saying, "Don't do that. It's rapey. It's creepy."
What?
Yes, it became a whole...
How is asking someone out for coffee?
She thought he was trying to get off with her, trying to, proposition. And even if he was...
But, they don't understand that before the internet was a thing, that's how people asked each other out,
I know. And this is... And then that just sparked a whole lot of events. But there were loads of things before that. And then, I don't know if it was her, but she also accused someone... or one of the skeptics, that's what her blog was called, don't know if it's still around now, accused a guy called Michael Shermer, I think, of rape, even though there was no evidence, and they sullied his reputation. Although, of course, no charges were brought because
oh god,
turns out there was nothing happened, and then Thunderfoot got kicked out, basically the atheist community just imploded and fought each other, and what came out of it was what you see today, but Gamergate really kind of set that in stone.
Yeah, I understand. I kind of understand her delusional state.
So what I'm trying to say is that's what they try to do. They go in, they disrupt things, and in the end and it's all for control. And they did actually find a lot of support. So people like Steve Shives, although he was a bit late to the party, Zornstars kind of like that. Because
you have to look into that.
Yeah, it's too much in a live stream, to be honest.
Yeah, what happens is that in the SJW delusional bubble, I can relate to this happening because before I became full on SJW, I was nervous and very anxious towards men. Like I would get panic attacks when I would go to date with them, and it's because of repressed memories or whatever. It's just normal issues people go. Like some people are afraid of snakes, some people are afraid of heights. I was afraid of men for a while, and instead of getting therapy and getting better, which is what I did later, they would tell me that it was okay for me to be anxious around men, and it was okay because men are the ones that rape the most and all that. And they're naturally predisposed to be aggressive and all that. So they made it seem much more scary. And that's where the whole catcalling and sexual harassment thing comes to play. Yeah. And the whole, if a guy likes you in that way. They might be a creep or a fedora wearing nice guy or something like that.
Fedoras.
It's so insane, and in this delusion you believe it because you see everything as a threat, and it just made it worse. And a guy catcalled me in the street. I just went into a full-on panic attack instead of being a normal person and ignoring it.
It's interesting. Sorry, go on, carry on.
That's okay. I'm just saying that I kind of understand quotations where the delusional state she was in. And to make things worse, one of my friends, I would talk to her about assault and all that I had in the past, and then because she never experienced it before, she did mental gymnastics that made it seem like one of her ex-boyfriends assaulted her, just so she could get the points.
They're fantasists, aren't they? They seem to be people who just make up shit because reasons. But what I was going to say, if I can remember, Claudia Berlin. Do you know her?
Nope.
She's an SJW YouTuber. She's been covered a lot. I think I did 1 or 2 of her videos earlier on in my time. And she.
I mean, how do you spell her name? Boleyn? Anne Boleyn?
Like Anne Boleyn. Yeah. She says she says in her about page. I don't know if I'm related, but I could be. She could be. Oh
God, no, she's not, because Anne Boleyn's daughter was a virgin.
Really?
And had no kids. Yeah.
Wow.
Anne Boleyn, and I'm a Tudors fan. I like reading history, but Anne Boleyn's only daughter was a virgin. So
I've noticed that statement is a big kind of favorite topic amongst female historians and people who are studying it, especially Boleyn. Even though there's Jane Seymour and all sorts of other wives that he did.
Anne Boleyn is for some reason she's a feminist icon.
Why? Just
because she was fiery. I guess.
Fiery. Well, not all, but a lot of them are fiery. That's how they got into power.
Yeah, no, she's a very interesting historical figure, but I'm just really puzzled of the historical role models SJWs pick, because one of them is that's Chinese pirate captain.
Oh,
yeah. She's what's her name? Anita. Sarkeesian.
Yeah,
Anita mentioned her, and I'm like, this lady was a freaking evil person.
She had a fleet of ships that went around enslaving and butchering people for the money, and she got away with it.
Yeah, she also shot a woman from a cannonball,
wow.
a cannon. They liked her because she treated men like shit. But even if that was I don't think that's a reason to like her. I mean, she's a piece of shit for hurting guys who did nothing. But
the reason I brought her up though, Claudia. Sorry.
But she hurt women too.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, but the reason I brought Claudia up was she had a suicide attempt a couple months ago, and she was really in a bad state, and she made a video about it. And I thought to myself, what she thinks, because you've watched her videos, she's full on social justice, and I think there's no way that's healthy to be so paranoid about men and women and all sorts of stuff. Thinking constantly about how bad the world is, and and then she goes and does that, and I'm like, maybe you need to look into yourself and think, is this what I'm believing good for my health? Because it worsened your anxiety that you already had, and obviously now that I've seen her and heard your story, I think that happened to her too. But it seems to me like she probably hasn't noticed that. It
just fills you with bitterness and hate and anger, and no piece of media is pure enough for you. Everything has a problem. And the thing, as a matter of fact, I was in class the other day, and there were these 3 SJW-ish kind of girls sitting around me doing work, and they were talking about Fire Emblem, and one of them said, well, it's not progressive because there's no lesbians in it, or something like that. She was just talking about... I don't know. She was just talking about the sexuality of the characters. But then I was thinking, when I look into a video game, I think of gameplay and entertainment factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. and not the how many lesbians or whatever. Like you could still have that, but the game could be shit.
Like Life is Strange. Although I've not played it, so I'm just taking the piss there. But that's a game popular with them. But the thing is, though, is like I want to talk about the hair color, not your hair color, because you just like it. You just like having pink hair, and that's a thing nowadays. But why is it so many of them have it? It's like a uniform. It's like
I think it comes from geek culture, mostly. Like the most radical SJW friends I had did not have colored hair. One of them had colored hair at one point, but very briefly. But it comes from geek culture mainly.
Yeah.
It's I would dye my hair pink because I'm an artist and I like color and all that. I'm not gonna do it anymore just because bleaching is just a pain in the ass. But it comes from college and geek culture, like the freedom of doing whatever you want. I think it also comes because of radicalism. And in order to be a radical, you need to have as much attention as possible. So they paint their hair as like a kind of war paint, in a way.
Yeah. Like, but really, it's just a warning sign. Like, stay away.
Stay
Stranger
away.
danger.
but like, yeah, if you go to my college, everybody has painted hair.
Yeah, I have a theory about it that it's actually a form of cultural appropriation because the fascists did it in the 70s with the skinheads. Because originally, skinhead culture was about white and black people, at least in England. That's where it originated. Like in my city, London, especially the Midlands, where I was today, and it was about getting together and listening to ska and reggae and rocksteady, all the Jamaican music, and getting along. And the reason why the white guys would shave their heads is to look like a rude boy. That's what a Jamaican kind of teddy boy would have been. Like a cool kid. They wanted to look like them with their hair all short. Like Sean King. Like how Sean King shaves his head like that. It's to look as well, for him, African American as possible, but for over here it's to look as Jamaican as possible. It was solidarity and stuff, but then it got infiltrated by the NF, which is the National Front Nazis, basically, and they saw the image as a way to look tough and scary, to scare the daylights out of people, and eventually they kind of took over because either they forced people out or people just didn't want to be associated, because if they went around dressing like that, they'd be confused with that. So apparently at one point there was a laces thing, like you had the coloured laces, you could discern if they were neutral or left-leaning or not,
Yeah.
And I think that's what the SJWs have done. They've come into geek culture, and I reckon it also comes from rock as well, especially metal and alternate stuff, because you see them also dyeing their hair and having tattoos and wearing weird clothing. They've done it because they've seen it. It's a war paint, it's a uniform, it's something to make it look different, to stand out. It's to differentiate, and they've took it.
If you look into Tumblr and stuff, they like to call themselves goddesses or whatever, and like, I feel powerful like a goddess when I use this bath bomb or something like that. So because or also a lot of them are otherkin as well, and they want to emulate their otherkin persona with their hair. So they have a lot of reasons, and it just sums up to they want attention. Yeah. And that's just the reason why they usually had color hair. But it was weird because my SJW friends did not dye their hair very often, so I found it okay to dye my hair pink because I like the color and all that. But then I found that it clashes with everything, and now I don't want it anymore.
Yeah. So speaking of otherkin, how did that develop? Do you know about that?
Oof.
Oh, this sounds like a long story.
Well, like it's weird because none of my friends were otherkin, but whenever I would make fun of otherkin in a live stream or whatever, people would tell me to shut up because they were like, swerve, and I'm like, why? I mean, otherkin is ridiculous, and they're like, well, you're attacking people on their identities, and I'm like, no, they're make believing. That's not part of their identity. I don't understand. So even back then, I thought it was ridiculous. I thought also it was very they're jumping into the transsexual bandwagon, trying to like I'm on this thing trapped in a human body, just so they can get special points. Like if you have like a spirit animal or whatever, because like some people have affinity with, I don't know, they love owls because owls are wise and whatever. They use that in their fashion. I understand that because Native Americans used to have talismans and totem and all that. That's fine. But these people...
my blue jacket is a Native American of sorts, or Aztec, Yeah,
that's fine. But saying that you're using transsexual language, lingo, saying that you're trapped in this body and that you feel your wings and those, my boyfriend is right now, he's laughing right now because he doesn't even know about that. But they feel like they have phantom wings, and like my wings are here, I feel them, but nobody can see them. And it's just, that's another level of insanity. Like there's no scientific proof of that at all.
What I want to know is when you were with your friends, ever like ostracize other people in that group apart from you, like before they ostracize you? We'll get to that, but was there other people that they would fall out with over stuff and they would ostracize and tell people to stay away because they're problematic?
They would regulate art, like since we were like a group of artists, and we made like if somebody drew something that was, or said something in their DeviantArt or Tumblr that was quote unquote problematic, they would we would basically shit talk them or confront them or whatever. I didn't confront them personally. I don't remember, but one of my STW friends was very dedicated in confronting people and saying that this is not okay. You're horrible. I remember this one person that they talked to that said the word gangbang, and he was like, "Gay rape jokes aren't funny," and it was just so dumb because it had nothing to do. It was a joke. It was like it didn't even. It wasn't even towards a person. It was towards a Pokemon. Again, Pokemon, ridiculous. So they would just regulate art, and in my case, like I would call my character or whatever I was doing ugly, and they would like get offended. Like don't call them anything offensive. So even fictional realms weren't safe in that aspect. Like everything was regulated.
You weren't safe in the safe space.
I wasn't safe in the safe space. That's the thing. The thing about safe space, I don't believe that any SJW space is a safe space at all. I think they're the worst people to organize any safe space, and I don't think any academic place or like a college should have safe spaces. I think the closest thing to a normal safe space that we all have is our bedrooms.
Yeah,
and that's it. But that's just the limit of what I find a quote unquote safe space. It's still my ex friend used to say that Skype was her safe space.
Really?
Yeah.
Skype?
Yeah, she would pick people like she would be like extremely picky, and just because I guess Skype was her safe space. And even there it wasn't enough because once she removed me for like an entire month.
Wow, because you so like what was the turning point for you?
Oh god, well I never mentioned the turning point in detail because it's such a long story.
Hey, we've got time.
But we've got time. Yeah. My dog is hogging the whole place. Dog, move. Okay, anyway. So I'm gonna refer to my SJW friends as Betty and Veronica.
Sure.
That's just their code names right now.
That's fine.
Betty and Veronica were SJWs who were going to get married.
Mm-hmm.
And Betty was the super special one because she was disabled and
Really?
she was queer and she was poor
Wow.
and she had all these labels. She was the worst one. I think she's like one of the worst people I've ever met. And I say this with all confidence because each one of my friends who were not SJWs, whenever they met her, they would say, I don't like this person. And mainly is because she said she self-diagnoses herself, and also she calls herself a psychologist. And not only that,
what was the disability, if you don't mind me asking?
it was a legitimate disability though. It was a physical disability that prevented her from walking for too much time. And it was
I know what you mean.
yeah.
It's MS?
Yeah, something like that. She was like paper skin, glass bones, basically. And
a little bit worse than I thought, but I know what you mean. I met someone like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but she was obese, and that made it worse.
Wow.
And also, she instead of getting a degree in psychology, like an online degree or something, she would call herself a psychologist, and she would charge people for money in her without a license. And she had like her own little
illegal.
She had her own little business where she would shrink people who were desperate, like $80 an hour for her quote unquote services. Yeah, and her SJW services and her gender studies, which weren't studies. Anyway, she was gonna get married to Veronica, and Veronica was also she was a lesbian, also quote unquote disabled, but she was less so. She was like, she said something, she had Asperger's. She would go from autism to Asperger's. So I don't know. I don't know which one it was.
Well, nowadays it's, from what I've read, because I was diagnosed with Asperger's when I was about 4, which is a long time ago now. God. Yeah, it's kind of now considered high functioning autism. So I guess she's kind of right that it's kind of the one and the same, but I don't know. I'm still of the belief it's kind of different because I don't feel high functioning autism. I feel that's different to Asperger's, but I could be wrong. But the psychologists have spoken. I'm obviously wrong, even though I feel different.
Well, yeah. The only reason I honestly is because I'm not a psychologist, but she would go from both of them. Like sometimes she would say that she's had Asperger's, other times she was autistic, high functioning.
Technically on the spectrum, so we forgive her for that, you know.
Yeah, she was also poor, and she was also a lesbian. Well, now she's agender. That's what I heard because I sometimes check their blogs just to see, what stupid shit they're up to. But she is agender now, so they go by they.
So, no gender.
No
right?
gender. Yeah.
Yeah.
But back then she was a she. And they were gonna get married, and they were in a long distance relationship too. Like she lived in Sweden, and the other one lived in Florida. But I met Betty, the psychologist one, in real life, and it was interesting because online she was like very bossy and very vicious, but in real life she was very timid-ish. So it was interesting seeing that. But she made me the maid of honor of their wedding, and we would do wedding preparations, all that girly shit.
Yeah.
But then Betty was getting into a lot of medical problems. She was telling me that she was going blind and all that, like just really bad medical problems. But she was more concerned buying stuff for her wedding, like flowers and stupid crap like that. And I told her, I think maybe you could postpone the wedding and just focus on your health first, because you need that money for you, for your health. And she just got so pissed. She called me ableist. She called me homophobic. She just went haywire. I even kept the conversation.
Yeah.
So to people to see if I was in the wrong or something. But I remember saying it like as telling her to postpone just for your health, because you need that, because you're both poor, you're pissing away money for fucking flowers and to get married in a yacht, and because they want to have the most perfect queer wedding ever, but you need to focus on your health. You shouldn't do that. Anyway, she got entirely pissed, and something clicked in me where I was like, I'm not gonna let her push me around anymore. So I stood up for myself, and I basically told her, I did not say anything ableist. What are you talking about? Basically, I told her off a bitch, and then she was going, please stop, you're making me cry. Like, please stop. She stop. And I was like, well, you're accusing me of all this stupid shit. And she's like, well, that's not up to debate. Like, that's one of the... You hurt our feelings. You should do something about it. And I'm like, no. I'm not going to... wedding, I'm not.
You're standing up to a bully, Like, of course you're going to do this. Screw her feelings.
Yeah, and then the next... So, when are you coming to the bachelorette? Bring food. And I'm like, I'm not going. I told her. She was like pretending. She's like, but you promised. And then after all said and done, I remember all of my friends, my non-SJW friends who were sick of their shit, they had to intervene so they could leave me alone. And I was finally detached. Then later on, she just started like spreading rumors about how I was ableist and homophobic, and her mom attacked me on Tumblr too.
This is what they do, isn't it? They just spread shit about people, just destroy them.
That's why I saved the conversation, because it was basically proof that I did not say anything bad, and I was only concerned about her health. But apparently,
it's like it's like a weird narcissism, isn't it? Like,
oh yeah, she was incredibly narcissistic. Like,
you gave her the attention and like sympathy and shit, yet she hated it. What?
The thing is, she wanted her perfect queer wedding. That's what she told me. She wanted her perfect queer, disabled, because they were both disabled, wedding. And the thing is, and the karma bit her in the ass, because apparently after they got married, they didn't do the visa process properly or all the way. So Betty had to go back to Sweden, and now they're basically apart again, even though they're married.
Are they still together?
Yeah, they're still together.
It sounds to me like if they were together, like physically, the one who's like the horrible person could be a little bit abusive. She seems
I agree.
Could be. Maybe not physically, but maybe verbally and
mentally.
Yeah, mentally.
Well, the fact that she acted like a shrink, even though she wasn't a licensed shrink, she basically had got the opportunity to have power over people mentally, and that's what she liked, and that's why she would send me essays of stuff. And then one of my other friends, who the bisexual friend I was telling you about, she called her girlfriend a she instead of a they, and she got really pissed. And
they always do, even when you don't mean it. They just give you this horrible steely look, and you can't help but feel bad. It's like, I feel disappointed in you. Use their own pronouns. Like, I'm sorry. I just.
But my friend didn't take shit. She's like, please explain to me what this agender thing is, because like scientifically prove me about this agent. And say, well, it's not that. It's identity and all that. Like, you gotta respect the pronouns. And she's like, okay, I still don't believe the agender's a thing. I'm sorry. And she's like, well, let me explain it to you. And she's like, no, I don't believe this is a thing because there's no proof of it. And there's nothing substantial to what your claims. And then she's like, And then she called her homophobic or something like that. But even though she's bisexual, technically, it's stupid.
So it would be biphobic.
And I have no idea. But yeah, that was the fallout. That's how I detached myself from them.
That was the red pill moment. You didn't even have someone give you a different point of view. Just them being themselves.
that actually, yeah, exactly. Like them being themselves, them to the point where I was just sick of it and just sick of their bullying. However, I did have other people open my eyes to it. Like when that happened, I started going to anti-feminist channels and I started looking at anti-SJW YouTubers, and I was like, they're thinking what I'm thinking right now. And they're supporting their claims with actual facts and not my feelings. And that's the problem I had with them, is that every time they had a problem with what I said, it was always my feelings. It wasn't like my feels. It was never something substantial. Like I believe, for example, racism is a horrible thing, and all of that. And that's something that is not an uncommon stance in a modern progressive society, that racism is shallow, absurd, and stupid, because it's basically judging somebody for their skin. And that is proven to be something that can destroy a society and make it segregated. But then when you look into SJW-isms, they're not supported by any historical fact or scientific fact at all. We all know racism is bad because there have been racist things happening in the world that had horrible results, like the Holocaust and slavery. So we know that racism is stupid and bad because it's judging somebody by their skin color and not by who they are. But there has never been a oppression of agenders. There haven't been agender people thrown into the streets and beaten up for who they are. There has never been other kin burnings. There has never been even feminist killings at all. We've never.
The one that I know of, she accidentally killed herself in like that. And this was 100 years ago in Britain. It was the Grand National or the Big Derby. I forgot what they call it in horse racing, and she meant to like just put a pin on the horses, like, but something went wrong, and she just as they started to run, she timed it wrong and got ran over, trampled, and died days later. And yet people, I've seen her get martyred, and it's like, mate,
that's an accident. That's not a hate crime.
Yeah, she accidentally killed herself. By doing something stupid. She could have done it. She could have just not done that, you know?
Yeah, that's not being
It's recorded as well. It's on YouTube. They were filming it.
Yeah, that's not a hate crime. There are no agender people being discriminated. Like, the only thing they bitch about is the pronoun use, and that's it.
You can actually argue that maybe some MRAs have been, even though they killed themselves, you can argue what caused them to kill themselves was outside factors. And that's more of a legitimate case than what they have.
Well, I think suicide is very different from hate crimes. But
I don't mean hate crime, but you know,
okay.
they kill themselves because outside factors rather than, you know, trying to pin something on a horse. So exactly. Who's your first anti-SJW kind of YouTuber?
I think The Amazing Atheist. Just because I'm an atheist, and
same.
Their name is basically synonymous to the lack of the beliefs I have. But so once he started targeting SJWs, then I started listening because I agreed with him on his atheist points. So I was like, you know, maybe he has a point on this, and he did. And I think some of the first videos I saw, which opened my were the fat shaming ones, because like I told you, Veronica was obese. So she would talk about fat shaming all the time. And the thing is, her diseases, what she had was worse because she was obese. So her doctors would tell her, hey, you need to lose weight because it's because her condition had to do with her joints and her bones and her muscles, and that becomes worse if you're obese, if you have more weight around. But instead of getting a good diet and exercising a little bit every day, she said, "No, I'm a big beautiful woman, and they are just
positivity.
Fat shamers."
See, this is what they've been doing. They've got it all ass backwards with that body positivity thing. What they should be doing is promoting people who've lost limbs or have some kind of disorder
things
or
that can't change.
Things that they can't change, but not that. I mean, look, you can have. I'm not saying that they can't have inner self-belief and stuff like that. I'm not saying that, but you can be confident, and there are good-looking big girls. I'm not gonna lie. I've never denied that.
Yeah, like Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah's fabulous.
Yeah,
and she's big.
I know.
And Jack Black doesn't care if he's fat.
I know, and sometimes they don't have to look good to be attractive either. A lot of them have very big. Well, I don't mean to use a pun, but they have big personalities that they're infectious. You can't help but like these people. You might even find that attractive.
Yeah, no, she was Veronica was very critical over fat characters, and if they were comic relief, she would hate them immediately. Like, fat people shouldn't be just jokes. And I'm like, it makes sense because they don't have to depend on their appearance to be likable. They have to use their humor or something else.
Yeah, like one of the greatest comedians ever was fat, and he was very physical. He could do loads of stuff. He could do a lot of physical comedy considering his size. But then again, he was a big man, like tall, not just fat. So he could do all that stunt stuff. He did work with Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton and all that. Roscoe Arbuckle, he was called. You might know who he is. I don't know.
Yeah. Was it Laurel and Hardy? I don't know.
Well, Laurel had to, but Roscoe was on his own, really.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. It's just bitching that people have their own tastes,
It really is, and they want them to find them attractive, but they don't because they can't help it.
Yeah, it can't help being attractive to certain body types, and it just depends on the person. Just how I would ask them, okay, so if you had a pick of any man or woman, who would you pick? And they will probably say, Beyonce or something like that. And I'm like, why not a fat person? Yeah. Double standards.
There's something else that they've done. It's not just body positivity. It's something else. But I can't remember what it was. But it's linked to all that. It's the what is it? I can't remember now. But basically, what I've noticed is they really, really, really don't like just straight white guys in particular, but they don't like men in general, do they? And I was wondering,
no,
how did the guys treated worse than you? Because you were new.
They were mostly quiet.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Quiet. Like, they were less communicative, so I didn't know them that well. They would kind of took a backseat to the talking.
Because they knew
it really felt like a female superiority.
Yeah, it was like if they said anything out of touch, anything out of line, they would be bullied.
Yeah, I never ever. Well, I remember whenever I was at the time, they would never want me to introduce him because he was a man. So it was always good, and they were kind of like changing the topic. And the thing is, I think they had it in their mind that they were gonna treat me bad, or we were gonna break up like after a month because men are scum.
Yeah,
according to them.
It's amazing how they think they're not hate-filled, yet they are. And also, you might have noticed this, but ever since you've been among us, I hate using us and them, but I can't help it because I'm not trying to divide people. It's just terms of use, you know.
Well, they divide themselves.
Yeah, and also there was one person I was in a Skype group with. I couldn't even use those terms like, oh, identity politics. Like, I can't even describe these people. But anyway, basically, what I was going to say was, they in the video that I just did, I might even send you the link. This guy basically, he's not really an SJW, but he's on the fence. But I think he's more like them than more like an anti-SJW, and he was criticizing us, and it was mostly lies and misrepresentations, and like he was right about a few things. Like there was one guy who did just do ad hominems in the video, and we called him out on it, but he wouldn't name his name, but I did because I know who he is. I think it was the Atheist Gamer. He got into shit.
The Atheist Gamer?
Yeah, he
is the guy who did the call with Bearing?
Yes, he tried to. I don't know what he was doing. I assume he was trying to roast this 14-year-old girl.
Oh, yeah, he was obnoxious.
It's his worst video, and I don't think he realised how bad it was, because he wasn't attacking her points, just her as a person. Like, look, if you want a roast her, but a roast is something that people participate in willingly, unless this person is a horrible person. Like, I only roast people who I know have a track record of horrible crap. That girl didn't. Like she was just expressing her opinion. And he goes and does that, and it's just like, ugh. And the guy, at one point in the video, about halfway through, one janitor, he's called, the guy who did the video, he said, oh, they're just all white guys, white straight guys. I'm like, I'm here, you're here, Tyler Preston, Zeus, or Basfizz, bloody Rhodes, that guy T, that's an ninja.
I hear that way too often. Like, even with my roommate right now, like, I got sorted with random roommates.
They exist, because that guy T's massive. Well,
straight white males.
He's nearly got 100k. I think I don't know if he's bigger than a blonde janitor or not, but he should know they exist. All right. And I don't know what Tommy Sotomayor's view of it is, but I reckon he wouldn't be an SJW. You know, he'd be pretty anti. So, you know, there's loads of them. Like, even Sargon's not white, technically.
Yeah, I don't really wonder
They do it on purpose, and that's racist, isn't it? You know, it's just intentionally ignoring people like us, because I'm mixed race, as you know. I think I told you. And, like, they just ignore us, and they pretend we don't exist because they've got to construct a straw man and attack these people. And I'm just thinking, you're using their race against them. And he's like, I'm sure it's not significant. I'm like, you're making it significant. Don't be sarcastic with me.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, the sooner we don't talk about race, the sooner racism will stop. Like, if we stop using race as a factor in anything, just like Morgan Freeman said. Morgan Freeman. Just, I love him. If we stop talking about it, then we will become less racist. I mean, it's just logical. If you stop taking the color of the skin into account, you see them for their ideas and what they say, then it will be better. Also, I forgot to mention
go on,
that before I detached with Veronica and Betty, I reblogged people who were saying DICE is scum, and I was saying that I was saying that they were hateful and they were not helping at all. Veronica got really pissed for me reblogging that, and she's like, "They're venting. Leave them in their venting. They can get killed by just getting out of their house."
Very unlikely in this society. They're more likely to kill themselves statistically. I'm not trying to downplay any threats or danger they might be in, but you know, in fact, I'd argue when women transition into men, if they're, you know, transgender that way, I reckon because they end up transitioning, because they end up being physically men, they do actually have a chance of, you know, just randomly getting killed, because that's what happens to men statistically.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
So
yeah, she was.
actually,
She was
that's
getting.
true, but they're not. That's no reason to be hateful, you know.
Yeah, but not for the reasons she was talking. She was talking about how they take one step outside their house and they get beat up for being transgendered, and they exactly, and it was just so frustrating to talk to her because then I told her, look, just because one asshole did something bad to you doesn't mean you have to condemn an entire group. And she's like, yeah, I mean, you have the right to hate a group of people if they done bad to you. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she was like, men don't like men did this to me. A man did this to me, so I hate men. And you know, and you have the right to hate men too for what they did to you. And I'm like, no,
men didn't do anything.
Just one creepy asshole did something to me. I'm not going to condemn a whole group of people. That's insane.
Yeah, by that logic, I should hate all human races. Oh, just the whole human race. I don't really like using all that, but you know.
That's how racists think. That's what racists think, and that's when I started watching videos and I started detaching myself. And then the wedding shit show happened, and that's when I completely detached myself. I confronted her later on because she was spreading rumors about me. And
they love doing that. They're like little kids, aren't they?
Yeah, she said that I was gonna do a call out to her.
So what I want to know is, how did you just get out of it? Because they wouldn't have taken that lightly. Did you just block and delete them, or did you just say no more, see you later, give them the finger?
I blocked and delete. I marked her phone number on my phone in case she would call me. I just kept to myself.
Like the whole group. Also, you're all artists, so I wanted to bring up. You know, Steven Universe. Were there any Steven Universe fans there?
Oh my god, they were all of them were Steven Universe fans.
It just doesn't look like my thing. I don't hate it, but I hate the fan. I don't hate all the fan base because they're not all bad, but they seem to be the majority of the SJWs, and they seem to be horrible. Like what they did to that Zami, because I remember that happening, and I tried to reach out to her, but she never replied, and I made a video about it. And I chastised the people who did that. And I left a message on your video, actually, because I follow this one group about Rick and Morty, and it's called Shrift Posting, and they couldn't be any different.
Yeah, with the Steven Universe thing, they're very protective over the series. And I think the Veronica especially, she was very protective over Rose Quartz, the quote-unquote fat character.
She's not even fat.
She's not even fat. She's not obese at all. She might be like considered pudgy, but she's not
voluptuous.
Voluptuous, but she's not obese like Veronica. Like I basically what happens is that for those who haven't seen the show, falls in love with a straight white male.
Who's Steven's dad, right? That's his mom.
Steven's dad, exactly. But Pearl is in love with her. So there's a lot of people in the fan base who ship her and Pearl because they're lesbians and no other reason, ignoring the fact that Pearl is extremely creepy and obsessive. And they hate Greg or they hate other guys. The thing is, I mentioned to Veronica, oh, I love Rose and Greg together. And I think he was her true love and all that. I was just saying that because I found them cute. And she's like, no, Rose loved everyone.
What?
And I'm like, no, but she gave her life for it to have a child with Greg. Like it was either her dying or giving. Wow. Yeah, well, she didn't technically die. She reincarnated into Steven. The only way she could give birth was to give away her physical shape and give birth to Steven. So she gave her life for a man. And a boy. But she is, for some reason, she's seen as this amazing feminist image.
That's actually an egalitarian thing. She's sacrificing herself for the man, which it's not usually like that. It's the other way around.
Yeah, it's she's considered as a pariah, like the most badass character ever. by these feminists, but they ignore the fact that her true love was a man with no special powers or anything like that, and that she gave birth to a son that was her the representation of her love for him. But no, they ignore it because the other one had a lesbian crush on her, and another one's made up of lesbians. So lesbians, and that's
They're
it.
really obsessed with them. Do you reckon? Did you ever meet any of the political ones, like the ones who weren't actually lesbians but pretended to be because reasons, political reasons? Or are they gone now? Are they just like a 70s thing?
I've never met one that pretended. I did meet people like
Bless you, Mr. Dominguez, or whatever his name is.
Mr. Dominguez.
I don't know.
You Mr. Dominguez. Okay, he's Mr. Dominguez.
We have there's a guy I know called Cognitive Thought, and his girlfriend's called Tiny Cog. So
Tiny Cog.
Because we call him Cog, he's Cog, she's Tiny Cog.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of that, the gender thing, I have met SJWs like Milo that treat sexuality like a fluid thing.
Don't get me started on her.
Milo Stewart. Yeah.
I think she's a trender. I'm sorry, because I know actual trans people. And they don't act like her.
Nope.
They don't. They have actual serious problems. They're going through all the things. I know one person who's female to male who's had so much shit trying to get the homotherapy, the tests to do it, and he's finally done it. See, I messed up there in passion.
Yeah, no,
he finally got it, and Milo Stewart makes him look bad.
Oh yeah, no, Milo Stewart is a joke. I mean,
I know.
she's changed her gender so many times already. Like right now, she's saying that she's non-binary. But before she said she was male, and she was like, she switches. And also, she said that she loves her body. So, and when transgenders have to actually go through something where they hate their body and they want to change it to what it's represented in their heads. So she's a joke, and she says, "Oh well, you don't have dysphoria. Well, prove it.
I know.
Like, go scientifically prove this is all because transgenderism is proved scientifically that is a thing."
You know what? Somebody, I forgot who it was. I think it was either a commenter or a YouTuber, but someone said that she was like an uncanny valley type person.
Oh yeah, no, she's creepy.
Oh, there's some way. It's just, she is a troll. I think she of sorts. It's a combination of her stirring the pot and then running away.
She loves being a victim. Like she loves the fact that, like, when she was talking about her bullying story, it was almost like that's it. Like I think everybody gets bullied in high school somewhere or another.
I was for in primary school, which is elementary school.
Except you, Mr. Dominguez, you didn't go through that. He's like shaking his head, but I got viciously bullied in high school, and I was a straight female, and it was not because of the fact that I was whatever. It was because of they would find differences and they would pick on that because of insecurity. Teenagers are shitty, insecure people, and that's just the way it is. They're gonna find a reason to pick on you.
Yeah.
And
also, I've got to ask you about this because there's. Do you know Marina Shut Up? Well, heard of her?
Yeah.
The part Japanese girl.
Yeah.
Watanabe.
Oh my god.
Watanabe. She looks like my sister. We don't have any Japanese blood in us. It's like Indian and Trinidadian. Well, it's both. But it's history. It's confusing. And basically, she looks like my sister, and it creeps me out. But that's not the reason why I brought her up. She made a video about white passing privilege. Did they ever talk to you about that? Did they ever say,
yes, they have.
I would definitely. Well, depends on the person, actually. Some people would say I have, others would say that I don't, depending on, one, how much sunlight I've had, because I do tan, even though I'm always tanned. And also, again, I don't really have. It goes to the I don't have any culture other than British because family reasons.
No, it's all coming down to color of the skin, which is what racists focus on. It's not focusing on culture, genetics, nothing. The thing is, my ex-friend, they would consider me white passing because I was bleached,
Like,
but I'm
this,
Latina.
This is white passing, apparently.
But I'm white passing, apparently. And the thing is, interestingly, if you are blonde and blue-eyed and white, like if you are like an Aryan prince or whatever, in Chile, you would get mugged in like in 2 seconds.
Even if you're Chilean.
Yeah, even if you're Chilean, like it's.
Do they exist?
They see you.
I don't want to sound racist, but do they have blonde-haired, blue-eyed people over there?
Yeah, they do. So I even seen Peruvian girl with red hair, green eyes, and pale skin.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, she was really pretty. Like I think she's like one of the only green-eyed people I've ever met. But
yeah, I've seen brown and green, and blue and green, but never full-on green.
But yeah, no, in South America, if you were white, you were a target to muggers and people like that. So that's not privilege, you know.
Is that because they think they're rich, or they could be
they think they're rich. Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why. So it's not easy to live there if you.
So here's a question that I've wanted to ask. I know it's got nothing to do with SJWs, but it's more to do with Hispanics. Now they consider themselves Hispanic because Hispanics can be any color, right? Because of the mixed heritage. Yeah. So do the black ones consider themselves African or Hispanic, or do they don't care? Probably don't care, but
it depends.
How does it work?
In my experience, they always refer to their country where they come from. So usually black people in Chile were either from Brazil or they were from Haiti. Yeah. So they would say I'm Haitian or I'm Brazilian.
So they weren't like, well, they probably do have slave backgrounds, but there was no slaves in Chile, despite the Spanish Empire and all that.
Very little. It was a very, very, very low.
Would it have been the Incans, right? Or
no, the Incans were Peruvian, but we had the Mapuche.
I should have known.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I should know it. I got the degree.
The Mapuche are the natives in Chile, and they're still around.
Yeah.
The Incans are pretty much wiped out, but a lot of Peruvians look like Incans.
I just like the hats you guys have, those woolly hats.
Oh, those are fun. Yeah, like I have like a bunch of those. But Incans, they have usually like big noses and square faces. And my mother's housekeeper used to be, she's Incan.
Oh, they're actually still called Incans?
Well, they have Incan ancestry. They're not around anymore, like Mapuches. Mapuches are around. And they still have their language and everything, but a lot of Peruvians have that physique.
I just find it fascinating, how South America is just one big mixed race paradise.
And that's why I always found when I was a kid, I never knew what racism was until it was taught to me. Like, this is what racism is and how it affected people. So kids don't know about that until they're taught, and that's why in order for racism not to exist, it's not to talk about it.
So it's more of a nationality thing than it is, like, oh, I'm African, Chilean or something. No, just Chilean.
Yeah.
Or just Haitian.
Yeah, I'm Chilean, I'm Argentinian, I'm Venezuelan.
Because sometimes you'll see ones who are, black people who are Hispanic in America who are Americans. They don't have any, Brazilian or Argentine.
Yeah, it's so
They'll
different
say African American, even though they're not.
Yeah, they're not. If you're not directly from Africa, then I don't think you should be considered.
In Europe, you're all Yanks.
Basically, because there's also black people in England, and there's also black people in Brazil, in South America, everywhere, in Haiti, and all that.
My cousin is part black, yeah.
But yeah, it's just it's just a indication of SJWs don't understand how culture works or race works, because I can assure you, living in a place where a bunch of cultures live together, they don't give a shit if a Chilean person wears a Peruvian hat and a Peruvian wears a Chilean poncho. They don't give a shit. They're just clothes. And
I know.
There was an event that happened in Chile where my mom organized this event where the Japanese embassy came, and they shared gifts with Chilean people. So there were Japanese people wearing Chilean ponchos, and then there were Chilean people wearing kimonos. I remember it was so cute because they were all happy and all that. And then my Betty told me, well, yeah, exactly, cultural appropriation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like she was kind of like dodgy about it. Like, well, I'm not sure.
See, the Japanese, they love it when people do that.
Yeah, they love it when they're like one of the cultures where if they see a foreigner trying to speak Japanese, they get really happy.
It's amazing because they never used to be like that. This is years, centuries ago. They used to be like isolationist, but now they're like the complete opposite. But I'm the same. I like Americans drinking tea properly. You know, boil it in the kettle, put your milk in second, don't put it in first.
Oh, sometimes they put creamer.
Cream's more of a coffee thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I have proper cream in my, whipped cream in my mocha. Mm.
Yeah, I've been to England before, and
really?
I've got a stash of.
I actually know someone who's part Chilean.
They're actually. Chile has a lot of British schools, so they do a lot of trips to England, and they have like a.
That is, yeah.
That's how they learn Spanish. I mean, English.
He came over here and married a. Oh, I don't know if they married. I never asked her, but he entered a relationship with an English woman, and there was college is different over here. You do get unis called colleges, but college is 16 to 18.
Yeah, I know the system you guys have.
Yeah,
it's very different.
So basically, it's that's how I met her. And she's like, yeah, part Chilean. Like, no way. Because I'd never met someone who was Latino ever, unless there was someone who was Guyanese, but they're not really considered Latino. They're more Caribbean.
Caribbean. The Caribbean is very different. I'm part Caribbean.
Even though Guyana is actually British Guyana is on the continent itself. It was our only quote-unquote South American colony.
Yeah, Mr. Dominguez is Cuban, so he's Caribbean.
Does he have a cigar?
Yeah, he doesn't smoke cigars, but his dad surely does.
Does he have the heels? Cuban heels?
Do you have the Cuban heels? Oh, how are they called?
Cuban heels?
Cuban heels, like heels.
It's like those big heels. Yeah, shoes.
Those big heels.
Unless that's what we call it over here. I don't know.
No, he doesn't have those, but they do have a lot of bling. But he doesn't. He's the non-bling.
I think we'll go off topic now because we've a lot of SJW. So what I want to know is, what's a Cuban accent like?
What's a Cuban accent like? It's very similar to the Puerto Rican accent. They talk really fast and
and loud.
Very drawling. Yeah, very loud. I'm used to it because my mom is Puerto Rican, so she talks loud too.
Yeah, there's a YouTuber called Woolly Bumblebee, and her husband's Puerto Rican. It's like rah, 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 rah.
Yeah, I thought his parents were angry ones, and he's like, no, that's just how they talk. And I'm like, oh, okay.
He's got a Boston accent too, and so it's like wow, wow as well. It's like,
exactly.
He'd be laughing right now.
Is it okay if I ask the chat something?
Yeah, go on. They're your fans, they're my fans.
if you guys have any questions about SJW stories, just go ahead and post it, because I have a lot. I have so many stories in my head that I just need to pick them out by specific questions.
This was your Vietnam. I see you as like a Vietnam War veteran.
Yeah, it seriously is like that. Like I feel like I forget it, and then I don't. Like I just remember the text posts and the garbage.
There's actually, he's not actually from Argentina, but he's his family is. Senor Mini Bagel's an Argentine, like an American one.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know him, but I do know Argentinians.
But I might tell him that. Mae said that Chile is better than you in terms of football.
I didn't say. Don't tell an Argentinian that. They have big egos.
We got Messi. Yeah, but he retired.
Like SJW stories.
Ronaldo got the Euros.
But SJW stories, like,
Gamergate or
I do you remember Rational Wiki?
Rational Wiki?
Yeah, it's like it's like an atheist version of Wikipedia, but more to do with atheism, and they're just full of SJWs. And there's like a Facebook group on it, and I joined it, and this I remember at the time it was pre-Gamergate, a little tiny bit, and this like statistic came out that's bogus about how gamers are mostly female or something. Was it? Oh, is it?
What?
It was some weird statistic that basically, you know what they do? They will put something in the category even though it shouldn't be there. So they were putting casual gamers and people who aren't really gamers, or not at all, they just have a mobile game. And so that's the only time they'll play it on a bus or on a train or when the kids are around, but they don't actually play it. They're gamers just because they play games when you need more investment, stuff like that. Oh, and someone asked me if I'm City or United. 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 I can get my shirt out if you want, guys. I'm sorry. I know I'm going off topic here, but I've got.
It's okay.
United. They won today. I couldn't watch.
What was my red pill? I think I already talked about my red pill moment.
Yeah.
It was a long process, though.
I'll be right back.
It's really difficult to go from one mentality to another without reflecting upon it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And it was almost like my what is real moment there, because I was very into that stuff, and I'm ashamed to admit it, but I was, and everything was just upside down all of a sudden. And the guys I thought they were shitlords were actually really intelligent and progressive people, while the people that I thought that they were my friends were horrible. So it was just, what's the creepiest behavior you saw? Oh God. They would, like, some of the compliments they would give me were very creepy. Like, you're the most beautiful person I've ever met. I am actually jealous of you, and you're that perfect. You're a perfect baby. And they would just like gush you with these really sickly sweet compliments, but then they will just, like, if you say something, they will just treat it like the ultimate betrayal.
What sort was this about? Sorry, I couldn't find my.
They asked what was the most creepy behavior I saw from SJWs, and I would tell them is that.
I know that guy as well who asked you. Yeah.
that they would use like sickly compliments.
Really?
Like, you're the most perfect person, and you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful person inside and out. Like, they will just like throw all these compliments at you, but then when you when you say something out of line, they will turn on you like really quickly and just make you feel like shit. And the thing is, they never said those compliments without any basis. They would just tell you because that was just the way that they would keep you around.
Yeah, also, Rational Wiki, it got infested with the SJWs and like atheism plus types, right? And I said the statistics were wrong, and they like flipped the shit, and like it became like insanely just like a massive fight, right? And it's the first time I'd ever seen the word shitlord. They legitimately called me one.
Yeah, that's basically how things are. Like, if you just say something that it will just shit all over the place, I swear. And it was obsessive. Like, it was almost like when Veronica, I told Veronica, look, I'm not going to your wedding, and I'm not going to hang out, I'm not going to even talk to you anymore. She treated it like I was emotionally scarring her, even though she started it. I mean, she's the one who posted that giant essay of why I was such a shit.
So what I know is, what was your first console game? No, console or whatever gaming platform, and what's your favorite game?
Okay, so the first console I ever played was a Super Nintendo, and that is my favorite console.
Was that your first like proper like platform in general?
Yeah, well, that was one of the first I played, but then the first one I owned, because my parents were very anti-video games, up until I would beg them, I was a Nintendo 64.
Oh yeah, you're a Nintendo fanboy.
64! And my favorite game of all time is Zelda Majora's Mask.
Ah, yeah. Interesting.
And
Usually people will go with the second one. No, third one.
Ocarina of Time?
Yeah, that's
Oh
it.
no,
Yeah.
or Link to the Past. I'm a huge
Oh,
Zelda
Link to the
fan in general.
Hmm.
But Majora's Mask
Do you know why she's called Zelda?
Because is it because of president's wife?
No, Zelda Fitzgerald.
Yeah,
the guy who
Fitzgerald.
wrote it. He wasn't a president. He was just an author. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was a president's wife who was called Zelda, and they named. And then Robin Williams named his daughter Zelda after the games. So
yeah, I like how he used to play video games.
Another of my favorite games is Super Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
Like
you're not that much older than me, but
Mr. Dominguez is just he's just glaring at me because he's a PlayStation nerd, and
that was my first one.
Yeah, and it's like I'm a Nintendo person. I know Nintendo is really stupid right now. I know they're doing really dumb decisions, but I'm just blinded by nostalgia.
Yeah.
And he's a PlayStation nut. So he's trying to yeah, you are. Look what you're playing right now.
I'm expecting you both to start arguing in Spanish.
So yeah, it's Metroid was Samus Aran is just amazing. I think the moment that I lost credibility, that I thought Anita was full of shit when she criticized Samus, saying that she looked too manly and that she was objectified at the end.
And then, like what? She's just
waving. Yeah, she's just like in a bikini. I mean,
it's jogging gear.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a twist. It wasn't supposed to be like, now you're gonna get to see a sexy girl. No, it's a twist because nobody's gonna fap to pixels.
No.
Like,
fair though, she looked very 80s when she was first revealed. Like she had long permed hair and all that.
She's my power fantasy. She's just awesome. I've had dreams of like wearing her power suit and just ice beaming everything. But yeah, Super Metroid is like one of my favorite games ever, and I always cry at the end because of the baby Metroid.
Oh, the baby! Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, like I like when he tries to save you from Mother Brain, it was a genuine reaction. I did not see any walkthrough or anything like that. It's a genuine battle, and when Mother Brain is just beating the shit out of you, and then the baby comes.
I've played The Walking Dead and cried at the end.
Yeah, no, it's a very common thing to cry. Oh, in Majora's Mask, I cried as well, and in the whole Anju Cafe quest that I found.
Crash. You know Bandicoot? I wish I was Bandicoot.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot was fun. Yeah,
its death animations are funny. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I played the first one and I played the racing one.
It's the music that I like. Music's fabulous.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was weird how people called him like a Sonic ripoff when was just like another animal character, but the gameplay was completely different. So I don't know why they called him.
He's just a Bandicoot. Or
Bubsy is a Sonic ripoff.
Which one?
Bubsy,
don't remember him.
Bubsy and the Gecko one.
Oh, the Gecko one.
Yeah, from the Atari Jaguar game.
Yeah, I think he was actually the same time, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, those were more Sonic ripoffs. They were like trying to be rad and cool.
Yeah.
Like,
they were good games though, apparently.
Yeah, they're really good games and they're fun. And Spyro's fun.
Spyro for Life is one said in the chat.
I didn't own a PlayStation, so I haven't completed many PlayStation games. I was more of a Nintendo person, but I think my favorite games involve Majora's Mask, Super Metroid. I love the Paper Mario games. The Mario RPG games are just fun as hell.
Oh yeah, Paper Mario had that mechanic that Fez has before Fez.
Yeah.
bloody Fez. I can't believe I bought that game. I gave Phil Fish money. He's got a new game coming out, and I thought about making the video to it, just mocking the trailer. But would it be worth it? The guy's just mocks himself, just being himself, you know?
Yeah,
it's really bad, pretentious, like, trailer. But, like, the game itself probably isn't going to be bad. It's like a 3D game. Or like, no, it's a 3D VR game, and you do puzzles and stuff.
Yeah, I heard about Fez, but I think the game that is no Fez 2.
You hurt my
oh god, my feelings. I quit forever. No feelings.
So do you think that's it then? Do you think we should call it a night?
Yeah.
Or have you got a bit more to say?
I think we pretty much covered everything.
I'd say so.
Yeah, as a girl, I've never been oppressed by video games, and I've never been. I never, as a little girl, I felt insecure that Mario wasn't a woman, and like I think it's just a narcissistic thing. Like I just want somebody like me to be the main character, like me. Well, I think that's where it comes from.
If you want me, make a game yourself and put you in it. You know?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to cover. I think I covered all of my main SCW stories. Anyway,
people, that's the stream. That's the end of the stream. Hope you had fun. I had fun. You're welcome back anytime. I occasionally will do these streams that with just all women plus me.
All women plus you.
As long as I can get the time zones to match, you know. That's the trouble. I did it once before, and the stars aligned, and it worked well. But the second time, I couldn't get it to work because there were two people whose time zones I just couldn't. I couldn't get the time right. It bugged me, so I put it on hold. But our time zones worked really well because it's the afternoon for you, or evening now, shall I say?
Yeah.
And it's 10:44 for me. It's just like yes, perfect. So anyway, that's the end of the stream, people. I hope you had fun. We've had fun. So. Do you want to say goodbye?
Yes, goodbye, everybody. Thank you for coming.
Adios.
Bye.
Good night. Hang on, I need to press the button now.